Yo, what's going on, you guys? It's your boy Shermaine, aka Terry McGinnis, coming at y'all with a Legion Titan breakdown and discussion. We're going to talk about all the individual aspects of this Titan that we've seen thus far from its trailer. Firstly, starting off with its primary weapon, the Predator Cannon. Now, this is a minigun with a long startup time, as the description says. However, from the trailer, it looks to be only about 2 seconds. Now, obviously, right now we can neither confirm nor deny that it will be longer than 2 seconds, but we know for sure it's at least 2 seconds long. When you're firing this weapon, you're going to be moving incredibly fucking slow. Incredibly fucking slow. Now, I'm going to go ahead and guess that because of the high fire rate, the spread is going to be pretty dramatic when it comes to your basic shooting, because there is another mode which allows you to fire at longer ranges, or it's precision rounds, which, you know, we'll talk about that in a minute. But I'm guessing high spread when firing, just to balance out the high fire rate, because generally in FPSs, if you have a high fire rate, you're going to do low amounts of damage, and your spread is pretty high, just because if you did a lot of damage and your spread wasn't very, wide, then why the fuck would you use anything else? So this is a type of weapon designed for long sustained damage over time, not doing a lot of damage. I would bet money that you're not going to do a lot of damage. Your weapon is designed to do damage, consistent damage over long periods of time, and suppression, because you can fire so much in such a short amount of time. You can basically clear off a lane. You can basically sit there and just fire non-stop, and no one's going to run into that unless they want to use one of their abilities to get in close. But still, even if they do that, once that ends, you're still firing your minigun. Not to mention, any damage that you do is going to just build up your smart core. So you can sit there. That's why this Titan is labeled as defensive. You can sit there and just hold down a choke by yourself, constantly pumping in rounds, doing low but sustained amount of damage, or not doing low amounts of damage over a long period of time. Sustain yourself, suppress the enemy, and then pop the smart core when shit hits the fan. That's how this weapon is designed, is to do low amounts of damage but over a long period of time. So now let's talk about its tactical ability, mode switch. Switch between close and long range precision rounds. Now, the questions that I have is, well, how will precision rounds be any different? From the video, we can see that the fire rate is different. It's not as fast. You can just see visually there's not as many bullets coming out of the minigun. There's not as many, casings or whatever the fuck they're called that are coming out of the gun. So you're not firing as fast and you're not firing as many rounds. But who knows how the actual crosshair behavior is going to be? How precise are these precision rounds? Because you're still firing a lot. So it can't be overly precise, because that's going to make you very strong at close and long range. So where do you lose? You understand what I'm saying? Now, another question that I have is, what's the drawback, if any? I'm going to be honest. I didn't use Scorch in the tech test. I fell in love with the Ion. I love the Ion Titan. I thought it was a very well-designed Titan with the energy system. However, my tactical ability was the tripwires. But the drawback was I could damage myself if I touched them or ran into them. So I had to throw those, block off an area, knowing that I cannot progress and neither can the enemy, forcing myself and them to take another route, lest one of us be fucking damaged by walking through that. So what's the drawback here? A couple of ideas I thought about was an animation time. Perhaps there's a relatively long animation to switch between to switch between precision and close range firing modes. Maybe there's a cooldown, which probably will be. What I thought would be really neat is having 2 different sets of ammunition, meaning you have to reload your precision rounds and reload your regular, minigun firing mode. I thought that'd be pretty neat. So we're just going to have to see how that ends up playing out. I do hope that there will be some drawbacks, because these Titans are champions now. They're their own, these are not your Titans. These are a Titan. So there's going to be matchups. There needs to be drawbacks to everything to help balance it out and to help you be aware, make you be aware, force you to be aware, so you know exactly how you need to play, in regards to using your abilities and shit. Now we have the gun shield. This is its defensive ability. So what I immediately thought of is, how is this designed in relation to the Vortex and the Flame Shield? Because the Vortex and Flame Shield serve the same purpose, but are utilized in different ways. Vortex Shield intercepts all ballistics and reflects them back, whereas the Flame Shield melts everything and can damage anyone that it's relatively close to and or touching. So how is this going to work? I wonder if there's going to be a set amount of damage that this can take. Will there be a maximum amount of damage before breaking, or just run on a meter? It seems really powerful. I shouldn't say really powerful. It seems powerful, as any shield like that in combination with a minigun, a high fire rate weapon would be. That's already pretty powerful. Now, here's some tech that is pretty standard. It's really basic, but we talked about how you already are designed to do sustained controlled damage over a long period of time. You can hold a choke by yourself in like a Titan on Titan fight, and especially with that shield, you could probably crouch and deploy the shield and make your hitbox as low as possible, as small as possible, so the shield covers you as much as your body as you can from the front. How are they going to get around you? They have to go around you to be able to do damage, or do little bits of damage on your shoulder or whatever that it's not covering. So look out for that. That's going to be a pretty standard technique that I think Legion players will end up doing, is standing in a narrow area, crouching, popping the shield, and throwing that shit, and just firing as many bullets as fucking possible. So it's a good defensive ability. It's good. It's standard. It's good. It's going to be powerful with a combination with a weapon like that does a high fire rate, a lot of damage over a long period of time, and you got something to protect yourself. You have a damage mitigation, a damage prevention method, and when you can do that and probably walk forward as well, that's pretty nasty. Because so far the Scorch and the Ion, when they use their flame shields, or when they use their shields, that's all they can do, is just catch or melt the shit and then reflect it back. So you could force one of them to pop open their shield, keep firing, pop open your shield, they'll just reflect it back into nothing. It'll probably damage you a little bit, but because of the nature of the ability running on meters or cooldowns, you still have your shield up. You're going to be protecting yourself while fucking them up. Pretty good. It's a pretty good defensive ability. Now we're going to move on to Power Shot. So a thing that I noticed was, it doesn't require to use Power Shot. You're not required to have the gun firing. It can fire solo by itself, but it seems though that the minigun does need to be spinning up. So you could use it even though you haven't actually fired a bullet, and then probably immediately after that begin firing. We only see literally like 2 seconds of it, okay? So we don't get a whole lot of screen time to kind of dissect the Power Shot, but we do know that the Power Shot has long range capabilities and close range capability. So it says that the Power Shot can knock back close range opponents, but in the video, you don't really knock back that Ronin very far. So meh. If you have to stop firing your minigun to be able to use that, why would you even do that? Because then you would have to, if that's how it works, right? If that's how the fucking mechanic works, you would have to stop firing, fire the Power Shot, then spin up again. It's like, why even waste that? Like, just keep firing your minigun. I'd rather just continue to eat their health and stop and then fire that. You're not going to even push them back very far. Like, it's not even that great, the knockback that is. Long range utility, I'm not too sure about that. It's going to hit anything in its path, but I mean, I think it's very rare that you're going to get a collateral unless they're just walking to you like a dumbass, which even then, you want to be firing your minigun anyways, because you're going to be doing fuckloads of damage, building a lot more charge meter for your smart core than you normally would by shooting just one big ass Power Shot. I mean, who knows? But even if you get more charge time from Power Shot, you're going to be doing more damage over time by firing your minigun normally than waiting to use Power Shot. So, I mean, who knows? Who knows? the big question is, will the power shot be able to come out raw, no buffering, so basically no spinning at all, just boom? That's something that we have to keep an eye out for. Now, last but not least, we have its core ability, the Smart Core. Basically an aimbot, basically tactical visor, you know, Soldier 76. But there are some questions that I really wanted to get answered that came to me while I was watching, you know, the clip of it. First of all, will it work the same as something like Soldier 76's tactical visor? Will targeting switch between targets with a flick of a thumbstick, or based upon who is closest to the Titan, or from a certain direction, right to left? We don't know that yet. Does it shoot multiple targets at once, or only one at a time? Now, that might be a pretty easy answer, like, oh yeah, of course it only shoots one at a time, but it just seems a little bit ambiguous from the video footage. So you might want to write that one off. That's probably, you know, one at a time, but who knows? Who knows? What will the visual cue be when the Titan has activated its core? That's something that I am looking forward to knowing, because when Smart Core is active as a pilot, you better get the fuck indoors. You better get the fuck away from that thing, because even if you rodeo that Titan, all it has to do is turn around, you're fucked. You're fucked. You're dead. There'd be no point. Then you could get out, give yourself the battery you just stole, that the person just stole. So that's what I'm really interested in seeing, is how will the visual cue be for when it's using its Smart Core? Probably maybe something like Soldier 76, where there's like a, you know, a holographic projection in front of it, or something like that. Who knows? We know for a fact that it lasts at least 12 seconds long. That you would think, man, that's a long time, because when you use Scorch's Flame Strike, or whatever the Heat Wave, Flame Strike is a Hearthstone card. I don't know why I keep saying that. When you use that, you know, that bitch just comes down and it's going. As well as the laser from the Ion Titan, that bitch just goes. So they don't last very long. I mean, they stay on the field for a long time, but when you pop it, and that's it. You know, laser lasts about like 5 seconds, you know, a couple of seconds. Whereas this lasts twice as long as Laser Core. But it's because it's not an insta-kill. You can counter this Smart Core ability by just hiding indoors. Just get away from it. Just get out of sight of it. And it does nothing. It does nothing. On an enemy Titan, yeah, it's going to hit you. But as a pilot, like, it does nothing. You know what I mean? It can be countered easily. You could sit there, pop the Smart Core, and someone can just intercept all your bullets. That's it. It's easily countered. So it's no big deal. So yeah, I think that's just about it. The last little detail is that it has one dash that we've seen so far. Pretty standard. But yeah, you guys, that has been my breakdown and discussion of the Legion Titan for Titanfall 2. Got quite a lot in there. So let me know what you guys think about the Titan. What are you looking forward to? What questions do you have about any of its abilities, or how you think it's going to play? You know, how you think it is designed in relation to the other two Titans. That's pretty much going to do it for me. I hope you enjoyed the video. My name is Charmaine, and I'm out. Peace. Have a good day.